Okay, so this is my third take at this video, so this is tough. Um, let's see. So a quick video about my moves and what I'm about to be, what I'm going to start working on as soon as I can get my hands on a 3D printer, and those are pretty cheap. So as soon as I can get my hands on a 3D printer, I'll be up and rolling. So this is a video about my moves. But quick history recap. You have to understand that everything up until this point, uh, the past 60 years, uh, it's been secret conspiracies. It's Nazi. That's what it is. It's Nazi, and it's neo-Nazi. And Google might even ban me for even talking about neo-Nazis, which is funny. But that is what it is. You need a brief history recap. Uh, so what's going on in the world today, all the confusion, all this stuff, it's due to the neo-Nazis. It's due to basically the way that the world is patterned in remote control warfare. So I think I explained all this stuff in other videos already. Hitler you cannot promise amnesty in something like a war. There's where the whole conspiracy connects with Hitler, is that World War II is radio remote control, and then now, but now you can actually see where everybody is actually at, technologically wise. They're no farther than I am. I'm definitely the farthest person, and I'm talking about time travel, and I'm talking about crazy martial arts and stuff. But basically, if you follow me, if you keep following me, you will definitely understand that I am the farthest person. Advancement, like technologically wise, I'm the most advanced person on the planet and in history. Next to Jesus. Jesus was God, so God, and then God. But then for a human, I'm the most advanced human, and I happen to be mixed race. But it has nothing to do with how advanced I am. It's just how far I'm choosing to go with the things that I believe in and the things that I'm going to do. So it's about me. For me, it's about fighting the Nazis. That's just what I found. World War I, World War II, they connect. Einstein, Tesla, Hitler, they all connect. Einstein doesn't get nearly the credit that credit is due for invisible waves and invisible technology. I don't think. For all his discoveries and all that. And then basically Mickey was not made by Disney, and Hitler promises amnesty through Mickey, and Mickey's in control of the CIA, and the CIA is in control of the president, and the CIA goes over the president's head, and the president has something called a deniability chain, where the president is not supposed to know some certain things, and some certain people are supposed to make Q level decisions, like whether or not they're supposed to shoot a nuke or gosh darn effing not, dude. So there's just those things, and just like I said, just be on the lookout for nukes in the sky. It's just kind of ridiculous. But we can't get hit, we can't get killed. I don't know what it is. So QAnon conspiracies, all this stuff. I would follow the QAnon conspiracies to try to catch up with what's been going on in the world today. Because he's going to give you a lot of information that you weren't supposed to hear. And that just would be that the corruption that they talk about on NPR is real. It's real. It's not fake. It's not the fake stuff that they're talking about on NPR and WWII is talking about and all this stuff, whatever else. It's the real stuff. And then the CIA and the NSA being, a really real problem, being not in control and by the president, and they're not even. I don't even know what they're doing, honestly, all the time. Doing a little bit too much and a little bit too wasteful. So, a well-rounded solution. So this video is a well-rounded solution. The government right now is actually going through a huge cleanup right now. As you can see, you'll probably be seeing this stuff in the news. You'll probably be seeing all this stuff that the Obama, from everybody from Obama to Bill Gates to the Clintons to Anderson Cooper, I even saw in there. There's a lot of crap going on. There's just some kind of crazy lawsuit going on, and people are gonna get in huge trouble. You can just tell that people are gonna be getting in big trouble. So, Yeah, so be on the lookout for all that stuff. But basically, yeah. So these are a well-rounded solution to what I believe is going on in the world today, which is primarily neo-Nazi. And one of the things that I want to promote is, well, first of all, the 12th Amendment. Talk about, I should put that on the 12th Amendment, the 12th Amendment. Uh, that is basically, in the case of a tie, instead of getting rid of the old way, which was to make the vice president run, which was to make the runner-up run vice president. That's a very good idea. To unify the country is to amend the 12th Amendment. It's actually would be really cool. But I'll amend it. So I will run in 2028 or 2028 or 2032, and I will amend the 12th Amendment. It's a good thing that we should do. We should really amend the 12th Amendment. Uh, to basically say, in the case of a tie, we'll just do some other kind of sudden death type thing, where the two do some kind of duel, and then they fight to see who is top dog, and top dog takes control, and then the second in command takes the second in command because it's about doing it for the country. And it's just some really good teamwork would be amending the 12th Amendment. It's a good idea. But basically, the rest of the stuff I got here, this is some really high-tech, really good solution stuff. We had a camera problem. We have a spy problem. Cold War is 40 years of spy problems and sex crimes. That's right after World War II. And I'm telling you, all this stuff is done by the Nazi king princess, the heiress to the Nazi throne, and the ivory tower in Chicago and all this stuff. Blah 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 blah. I'm crimson red with this stuff. So here we go. One thing we can do is we can start saving money by using Tesla's tech and using my technology. Once I get up and running with manufacturing and manufacturing metals and high grade metals and high grade plastics and high grade other things and doing it clean and all that stuff instead of using petroleum, non-petroleum based manufacturing, clean manufacturing, clean energy, clean production, clean transportation. It's really important. So basically my first nice solution is to go high tech with the government. Instead of employing a million, billion people, let's just actually let's start from scratch with the government jobs. Let's try to put a robot on every government job, and then if for some other reason we decide that we want to pay a small group of people to do some of these jobs, that's fine. We can pay some people to do a small amount of these jobs, but we can cut down on so much problem, heartache, and problem and heartache, I guess. And we can just go with democratic drones, democratic droids. We can have democratic droids do our work, and that's a good idea. We should do that. We should do democratic droids to do the government jobs, and then people to do the people jobs. The government jobs are easy. You just keep everybody safe. It's easy. It's a military weapon. You keep everybody safe. It's easy. So basically, so that's my first thing. That's crimson red. That's just wash the government clean. Let's just start going with more high tech jobs. You're hearing this from me first. I'm the first person probably to say that we should just go for just technological government jobs and no people to corrupt anything, because basically we're gonna have unhackable computers, and that's another one of my moves. So here we go. So let's talk about my first government move. My first government move is amend the 12th Amendment. That'll help unify the country. My cop drones, they're equipped with cameras and time travel. Time travel, you can't beat it. It's got an automatic trigger. Everybody, the right people are always there in the right situation, and it's always directed by the victim. Always directed by the victim who requests time travel. All you got to do is request it, and it's there. It's really nice predictability with the time travel and the cop drones. And then with the cop drones, that's preventing crime. That's crime prevention, not control. That's not crime control. That's crime prevention. That's crime prevention. That's preventing it, nipping it in the bud, getting it at the source, and whatever else is. If the squeaky wheel gets the grease, man, it's just all you got to do is speak out, and you get a cop drone. You can think there's racism somewhere, speak out, you got a cop drone. People stepping in and stepping up, like a SWAT team that can just break up the fight. But in the nick of time, instead of too late. So my first one, amendment the 12th Amendment. 2, my cop drone crime prevention. 3, Andersen Camera Security Defense says, all you got to do is set up the cameras the right way so that there isn't any corruption in the cameras. That's really not that hard. And you got to have checks and balances on the camera. So that's crazy. I'm going to have a poltergeist on my cameras. I'm going to have a poltergeist on the cameras. So Andersen Camera Security Defense, I put all this stuff in the description. Mars Beginning Spiritual Martial Arts says, you can turn into a ghost. You don't know this. You're made of spirit. You're made of mind, body, spirit. You can turn into a ghost. That's what there is, dude. You just got to get there. You can shapeshift. You can turn into a ghost. It's crazy. And then my GRASS formula, it actually stands for Ask for GRASS formula. It's for security. It's actually going to monitor all the energy and all the matter in the universe. E equals MC squared. It's going to contain all that stuff. And these are my government moves. So these are some high power government moves. These will create balance, the balance that we need. And then the last thing I'm going to do is square the dollar and square the dollar. Square the dollar, square merit, and get us out of debt. Get the U.S. out of debt for free. Okay. If you know anything about selling software, is that if you do a little bit of work once, it goes a long way. It goes a long way. So one of the things is computers. Computers, one thing is, if you got one computer, you can do a lot with your computer. You can do a lot with your computer. You can do a lot with your computer, dude. You can do a ton, dude. You can do a ton with your computer. You can become a millionaire because you have a computer. And all you got to do is go to Wix.com and make a free website. The computer is an amazing piece of technology. And learning how to make software is an infinite skill. It creates infinity in your world. It's very sweet. But here we go. So my Astrograph formula, E equals MC squared, contain all this stuff in one computer equation and a formula to access it. Access the information, and then this will be part of something that the government will control, and then our droids can be controlled through our GRASS formula. And then basically the last thing is, like I said, is squaring the dollar. You want to square the dollar. Square merit. Square merit means square, you get what you earn. And we're going to have some, I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I'm going to make some kind of representation, not gold, on the dollar so that we can put it back like up on like a chair and we can stack like Legos. So, square merit, square the dollar. We got, some new, maybe a new chemical, maybe something new on the periodic table. A new element. Maybe I'll make a new element and I'll say that this element is infinite, but $1 is worth one of these. And with one of these, you can do this much stuff. And then there's your value. There's the value of your dollar. That sounds pretty high power. A new element on the periodic table instead of gold. And maybe my elemental 3D printer will be able to make something like that for you. Because if you can control electrons, you can control the world. You can control electrons, not bosons. If you control electrons, you can control the world. So there's all my government moves. My eco moves is my IIV company. It stands for Indivisible Individual Vision. And it's a corporation. And this is a corporation for people who want to do all things, and for people who do all things, who want to do all things and who do all things. And getting kicked off, like I said, my 3D elemental printer is you can make new elements on the periodic table if you know how to control electrons, if you remember from chemistry. My smart gun, my spirit gun, my smart gun, my aura reading smart gun is that the spirit emits a physical aura. And it's your spirit because it's so mystical and wonderful. Your spirit emits an aura, and you can feel it all day on people if you pay attention. You can feel people's aura. If your senses are in tune enough and we're all connected enough, and the spiritual world, according to the double slit experiment, is spiritual, and we're all connected. If that sixth sense that you feel something, you notice something, you should pay attention to it, because the world is spiritual, and everything is spiritual in it. Everything in it is spiritual. So to say that that you don't trust those little instincts, just for once in your life, go with the instincts. Whatever that thing is that you feel, your spirit doing something, just go with it for a second and see where it leads you. If you don't like it, you can go back. you can go back to where you were. If you don't trust your gut, you don't trust your instincts, you don't trust that spirit, you don't trust that thing, that Geppetto in your heart, you don't trust that stuff. Okay, but maybe once and just try it, just see what it does, and see where it leads you. It might lead you to something pleasant and enjoyable. You might like it. You might like it. Uh, so, uh, yeah, just finish up this stuff. My 3D elemental printer, I'm gonna make one of those from scratch. I might even use a 3D printer to make one. You can buy one for $300. It's really easy. Uh, my aura reading smart gun for civilians, and then this will keep all civilians safe. Imagine a gun where instead of it's something that anybody can shoot at any time if they just feel funny, is that it actually locks for you. It doesn't let you shoot unless you're in trouble, and it'll measure the aura, like radios measure radio, and they receive radio. This gun will receive aura from people. So if somebody's bleaking out or in distress or in either one, is that it will unlock for you when you need it. I'm sorry, I'm picking my nose right there. This thing will unlock for you when you need it, and it'll alert you and it'll detect you, and maybe it'll even help you aim, because you can balance the weight and it'll help you aim. So all this stuff, you can put all this nice little power into a little gun that'll save the world. That's gun control right there. Is just making a nice civilian smart gun. There you go. Un-hackable computers is that, like, if you ever seen Kim Possible, there's a little guy out there that can hack your computer all day, left and right. Whether he's a good guy or a bad guy, he can hack your computer absolutely all day because he knows how these things work. And I think one of the problems with it is probably the RAM. But I got to look at all the pieces that actually go into actually accessing the memory and then getting information. But it's just that you can get hacked all day with this stuff, and we've just been fickering around with it, just like unbelievable. And nobody talks about how unsafe all this stuff is every day. Mark Zuckerberg already sold your information to the Russians and all this. He's off with the money with that. They're gone with that, dude. That was a transaction deal, dude. Anyway, so it's just ridiculous how easy these things are to get hacked. So I'm gonna make an unhackable computer, which means I'm probably gonna just upgrade the RAM to like something a little more innovative, to something a little more unhackable. And you basically need access to get in. You need not even access, is like you need to be one of the computers in the internet. And then you can get access to public information, and then private information stays private. And it's just, make a little unhackability tweak on there, and then we're good with the computer, because the computer is actually one amazing piece of technology. And I don't even know how many other ways you really want to do the computer, but computing goes like this, and virtual reality goes like this. Augmented reality goes a little bit something different. But for virtual reality, is that these computers work pretty well. Maybe something a little bit better for your posture. But anyway, so let me talk about so I just talked about my government moves, which is 1, amend the 12th Amendment, 2, cop drone prevention, 3, Andersen camera security defense, Mars beginnings, spiritual martial arts, my grass formula for E equals MC squared, and my squaring the American dollar with square merit, and probably a new element on the periodic table of elements. I'm going to make that with my elemental 3D printer. That'll be from my IIV company. IIV stands for Indivisible Individual Vision. You can do all things through Christ, Philippians 4:13. But the aura reading smart gun for civilians, the unhackable computer, and smartphone. It's got to come with the smartphone too, with the unhackability. And I'll always upgrade. Always make an upgrade to Apple. So whatever Apple's giving you, I'll give you 10 times what Apple's giving you from my designs and my friendly designs. I told you it's a well-rounded, really well-rounded solution here. Is that I'm going to make the best stuff too. Mars Beginning Economy app is that we all got to figure out how to play on the platform. So we're all going to learn how to make a lot of money, dude. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Caucasian, whatever. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, whatever, Eskimo. You can be Eskimo. Is that you'll have fun with this nice little app, and just in the world of just entrepreneurialism and making money and things like that. You'll have fun just doing your own job on this app. And then just doing it really to the best, to opening up the world to opportunities and equalizing opportunities. Equal opportunity is one of my presidential things here. Equal opportunity is huge, and just having equal opportunity. So equalizing opportunity while squaring the dollar, opening up the world to doing all things, and then creating a high spirit of entrepreneurialism and just in time too. Because Mickey was not made by Walt Disney, nor is Walmart owned by anyone other than a neo-Nazi. We have a monopoly problem, so just some of that stuff I've been talking about. Then the whole lawsuit with Obama and all that stuff. Just get ready for all that stuff in the news. The lawsuit with Obama and neo Nazis and the Clintons and Bill Gates and whoever else. Elon Musk and Tesla and all this Tesla tech that's gonna come out. It's just popping like a big old turd, dude, on the toilet, dude. It's unbelievable. Uh, so Mars beginning economy app. That's just to balance things, equalize opportunity, help everybody play on one fair playing field. And then my Eve, clean energy production and transportation is that we got to move off the dinosaur stuff. We're creating greenhouse gases that is ruining the planet. We are ruining ourselves with greenhouse gases. You can see it in the air in Chicago every night. Is how thick the greenhouse gases are. So then I put a link to a nice little SoundCloud clip on the bottom of this. So if you want to listen to some music while you're watching me, you can put this on repeat. It's pretty cool. So anyway, have a good day. Don't worry, nothing to worry. God's in charge. Nobody knows the day or hour. It's in Matthew. It's in Revelation. I think it's in Revelation. And no one knows the day or hour of the Lord. It is now, though. And then I can explain that to you in the way that I just know that there are not going to be any more apocalypses after I do with my stuff. The cop drones and all that stuff I just explained to you right there. And keeping a perfect unity in a perfect country with our high tech government jobs replacement program. So anyway, let me cut this video at that nice 22-minute mark. Peace. Be safe. Maggie's still doing vagina portal and needs to stop. Goodbye.